Hello everyone, welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. Let me actually check again to make sure the video is recording. It is. At the moment it is raining outside and kinda windy. So it's a nice pleasant temperature, I think. Anyhow, so I would like to do the Bahamut Coil quests, but there's the problem that I want to do it when Sky is around and available, but she's been on Do Not Disturb for a while now. And I don't like disturbing people when they're not around. Guardian of Eorzea. Now the matter of Ramuh has, for the present, been put to rest. There is something I would show you, Byrnjolf. A roll of paper. It is a letter of thanks signed by the leaders of the Eorzean Alliance, acknowledging the Scion's tireless service to the realm. It mentions in particular the names of all the defeated primals: Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, Good King Mogul Mog XII, Leviathan, and now Ramuh. Where's Odin? Needless to say, there is only one among our number to have faced them all. And though these words of gratitude were addressed to our order as a whole, I feel that they were meant for you above all others. I too must offer my heartfelt thanks for all that you have done. In the course of your duties, you have never once failed to answer my calls to arms. You are a true hero, Byrnjolf, and Eorzea is that much the safer for your presence. Pray do not misunderstand me. I said safer, not safe. I know only too well that we can ill afford to lower our guard. The Ascians may be relied upon to sow chaos in this realm until such time as they are forced to stop. Why, even without their encouragement, you may be assured that man would foment strife on his own, and that is to say nothing of the beast tribes. Unless we learn to live in harmony, the primals, too, will return to plague us again and again and again. And yet, despite all of this, your deeds serve to inspire the people, to give them hope for a better tomorrow, and there is no greater gift. That we have the courage to strive for what might otherwise seem an impossible peace, we owe in no small part to the dangers you have faced on our behalf, and the people you have won over to our cause in so doing. Our list of enemies has ever been long, but think of the allies with whom we are now blessed. Of the sylphs of Little Solace, who wish not of conflict, of the Alamegans and the Domans who stand with us, determined to halt the dread march of the Empire. And then there is Cid and the Fellowship of Noah, racing to unlock the mysteries of ancient Alleg, that we might be spared the horror of another Ultima weapon. Huh. She acknowledged that, what I did there. Of course, when speaking of our greatest allies, we must not forget those closest to us, by which I mean our fellow scions. Thanks to their many and varied talents, our order is uniquely equipped to combat the far-reaching corruption of the Asians, and combat it we shall. Your enthusiasm is truly heartwarming, Antecedent. Given our embarrassing wealth of allies, I trust it will not inconvenience you unduly if I absent myself for a time. Alphino, I take it the troubles in Ul'dah no longer require your attention. There are yet some rumblings of discontent, but the air of simmering violence is largely dissipated. 'Tis to report such that I stand before you now. That, and to speak with you concerning the new organization we discussed. I have a message for you from LA. Ahem. You recall the refugee girl, the one whose parents were missing? They were found unharmed. She wished me to pass on her thanks to you. Oh, well, I'm glad she found her parents. I still think it would be interesting if the Warrior of Light adopted somebody and raised them. Even taught them a little bit about fighting and magic. And maybe learning from the Scions as well. Why, Alphino, am I to understand that you made the effort to remember the poor girl's name? I look forward to reading all about her in your report. I do hope you left nothing out. Byrnjolf, you have been away from Revenant's Toll for some time now, I believe. Might I suggest that you put the affairs of the realm to one side for the moment, and take this opportunity to reacquaint yourself with the town? Which reminds me, one of the Doman children recently inquired as to your whereabouts. Yozen was his name. I believe he has some small matter he wishes to share with you. Why not oblige him with a visit? That sound is my headphones cord. Sorry about that. I realize that you must be quite tired from your travails, but I would most appreciate it if you could find a moment to speak with young Yozen. He has been through much in his own right, I am sure. After we parted in Ul'dah, I paid a visit to the refugees. Though a fundamental solution remains far off, I believe that, at the very least, there should be no armed uprisings in the near future. I am given to understand that you resolved the matter of Ramu. I will ask Benfilia for a full report when next we speak. You have done well, Byrnjolf. Everyone has moved around again. The storm has passed, and a moment's quietude is ours. Tataru is using her newfound time to further her studies, and I would follow her example. If living in Eorzea has taught us anything at all, it's that such restful moments are fleeting. Dark clouds ever stir anew on the horizon. With the Doman younglings dashing around hither and yon, there's hardly a moment of peace to be had. That said, traveling with Ida is not as if I knew much peace to begin with. I do not know where we would be without Higiri. The girl has worked tirelessly for us every day since her arrival. Do you suppose all Domin women are so diligent? I told Flamin all about our adventures in the Sylphlands, fake Thancred, and all. You won't tell the real Thancred, will you? I'm gonna tell him. I don't even know where he is. Oh, there he is, hiding in the background. Yozen's always been the strongest of us, but even he's no match for Gaharu when she's mad. If I were as big as a mountain and strong as a bear, like Mr. Boulder is, mayhap I would like fighting more. Are you taking a rest too? Promise you'll play with us again soon. That game of hide-and-seek in Vesper Bay was the most fun I've had in forever. Despite all the hardships they have faced, the younglings pursue their training with great zeal. We older ones would do well to follow their example. Ah, Byrnjolf, care to watch the lessons before you journey on your way? I dare say your presence would go far to inspire the younglings. Repetition and routine begets skill. Skill begets confidence. I would do what I can to see the Domans regain their strength of will. Many of my countrymen have found work as frontier hands, helping to transport supplies and continue the expansion of Revenant's Toll. I have been tasked with keeping the equipment here in good repair. It is not particularly glamorous work, but I would help in whatever way I can. Thancred, you're not hitting on Higiri, are you? 137, 138, 130... Oh, hello there. I've been charged with keeping inventory. Flamin tells me it's a vitally important... Oh dear, I seem to have lost count. Never is a woman more lovely than when she's hard at work, I say. A wild rose, strong and beautiful, blooming tall in the face of the frozen winds. Wild winds, what's the difference? Look, it's Mr. Byrnjolf. He's back from his adventures. We heard you were off fighting primals, and that they're some of the strongest enemies you could ever face. I wish I could have seen you in battle. Anyway, we all want to be heroes too, so we finally formed our very own Doman Adventurers Guild to protect all the Domans. Oh, do you think you could train us today, Mr. Byrnjolf? Maybe you could show us how you fought the primals. What's all this commotion then? Mr. Boulder, Mr. Coultonet, did you know that Mr. Byrnjolf is back? So it would seem. Welcome home, Byrnjolf. My companion and I but recently became full members of the Scions, and I believe proper introductions have yet to be made. I am known as Hoary Boulder, and this bookish fellow is Coultonet. Though we remained largely unproven as adventurers, we have taken it upon ourselves to instruct the Doman younglings in the arts of combat. I told you, Mr. Boulder, we are not younglings anymore, we are adventurers. And we were just asking Mr. Byrnjolf if he could give us some special training. I think we're ready to hunt monsters alongside him, don't you? Well, you've certainly been diligent with your drills, but I'm afraid the fiends of Mordona are still ever so slightly too dangerous for you. I have a counter-proposal. What if I were to cross swords with Byrnjolf? A demonstration of skills at arms, if you will. Hoary, if I didn't know better, and I do, I'd say you were merely seeking to test yourself against a legend. Ah, well, mayhaps I am. But what matters the motive when the children stand to learn so much from the lesson? What say you, Byrnjolf? Would you consent to spar with me? Sure, why not? Hurrah! We're to have a tournament. Come on, everyone. We must prepare our gear for an outing. Do try not to disappoint them, then, Have faith, Coulternet. I shall summon every last ounce of my strength to make of this a worthy contest. The fields to the east of town should prove suitable for our purpose. I very much look forward to our bout. Higiri has told me about a dolmen tea with the most remarkable fragrance. What I would not give to taste it for myself. So turn we to heroes of conscience unstained. May all stop at naught till what's lost is regained. Oh, hello again. Flamin has been teaching me some Eorzean ballads. Though I hail from a faraway land, there is something about music that truly transcends borders. There you are, Totoro. Nothing warms me inside quite like Higiri's tea. Truly, it is salve for the body and soul. Just as some children possess wisdom beyond their years, some adults are little more than children writ large. Remember this, and it should save you a measure of frustration in your dealings with those around you. I dare say they heard you talking a mile away. Ida and Thancred dashed out not moments ago. Will they ever start acting their age? Did everyone else leave too? Nope, Hosen's still here. Where did everyone run off to all of a sudden? It is not that I mind so much. The quiet is most conducive to focusing on my tasks. Bum 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 ba-doo-doo. Ba-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, look at that fat chocobo. I wouldn't mind a fat chocobo. He's a bit. Look at a model. So cute. Ah, here is everyone. Sort of. But where's Thancred and Ida? Since becoming a scion, I have had much opportunity to hear news of your epic deeds. I must confess, then, that my excitement rivals that of the children's at the prospect of seeing you in action firsthand. Mr. Byrnjolf is here. Let the battle begin. As we left the Rising Stones, Mr. Thancred asked us where we were going. I told him we were off to watch you and Mr. Boulder fight, and he looked very surprised. I hope we haven't made him cross. Is sparring dangerous? I don't think I want to see anyone else being hurt. We had a master of lessons back in Doma, and the way he taught us was very different from Mr. Boulder. I'm not sure which way is better, but I think I like them both. All right, Boulder. Bobby, you get him from behind. I got his front. Succubus coming from below. 'Twas good of you to agree to this, Byrnjolf. I trust you are ready to begin. I trust that I am. Very well, let us not keep the younglings waiting any longer. Ahem, Hori, are you certain you wish to fight him alone? That is Byrnjolf you face. What better way to test my mettle? Pray allow me to attempt the first round unaided. After all, it was this hero's legend that led me to join the Scions to begin with. Without Byrnjolf to inspire my efforts, I would not be half the warrior I am today. Your point is well made, but remember, this is for the children's sake as well as your own. Should it appear the contest will end too swiftly, I shall add my spells to your blade work. Hello, you haven't begun yet, have you? Ida? What? Who are all these people? Well, one of them is Thancred. When I heard about your sparring match, I told everyone I could find. Thought you could use a crowd to cheer you on. Yes, and there are still more to come. When I mentioned Byrnjolf's name, the reaction was quite enthusiastic. Why, my own popularity seems but a sickly shade in comparison. You'd best claim victory, bringer of light. Your burgeoning reputation is at stake. Well, our teacher won't be beaten so easily. He's a master swordsman. You can win, Mr. Boulder. Have the kids turned against me? I thought they were hoping I would win. We shall soon see. On your guard. You're already down? Ugh, such power. The tails barely do you justice. Mr. Boulder won't lose, will he? It's not over yet. Can't be. Aye, the children have the right of it. 'Tis time I joined the fray. On your feet, Hori. Oh! Hey. Open it. Must admit defeat. It's an honor and a privilege. Oh no! He looks hurt. Mr. Byrnjolf is so strong. But you can't give up, Mr. Boulder. Can't disappoint the younglings. Rawr! Who are you two? Who are you three supposed to be? In fact, who are you? You have bested me. I yield. That was incredible! He beat them both at the same time. Not really. We knew you couldn't lose, Byrnjolf. None can defeat the Guardian of Eorzea. Now I see why they send you to deal with the primals. I've much work to do if I'm ever to attempt the same. Impressive as always, Byrnjolf. 'Tis ever a pleasure to witness the spectacle of your martial prowess. And judging by the smiles on these many faces, they too appreciate the hard-won strength that keeps the perils of the realm at bay. Guardian of Eorzea. Yes, that is a most fitting title. Do you recall when first we met? Yes, it was on the wagon when I went into Ul'dah. 'Twas at the memorial service for the Battle of Carteneau. Well, that too. At the time, I was yet attempting to understand the land of Eorzea. I sought to grasp the reason why grandfather willingly sacrificed himself to protect it. I shall speak plainly. My initial impressions were less than favorable. Dire problems abounded, and yet the effort I saw expended towards their solution was haphazard and half-hearted. I thought Eorzeans a foolish and childish people. Considering the shambles their home was in, I would not have been surprised if some had chosen to swear allegiance to Gaius and the order he proposed to enforce. The legatus' single-minded military invasion precluded any such switching of loyalties, of course. Were it not for a desire to continue grandfather's legacy, I would have abandoned the realm to its fate long ago. The threats were too many, the nations too self-involved and unstable. "'Twas you who convinced me the salvation of Eorzea was possible. 'Twas you who taught me, through countless acts of bravery, that what my grandsire sought to preserve was not the land, nor its history, nor any single nation. It was the people, these wonderful, oft infuriating, stubborn people, that suffer blow after terrible blow only to drag themselves back to their feet to face another day. Though he never put such feelings into words, I believe grandfather's admiration for this inextinguishable courage grew into a fervent wish, a wish to aid Eorzea and its inhabitants in charting a course for the future. A wish that has now become my own. I too will endeavor to take up the mantle of Guardian of Eorzea and champion these people who toil towards a better world. I tried to say a better tomorrow. Of course, however, it's not a simple one. The troubles that plague us are of a scale that cannot be solved by the scions of the Seventh Dawn alone. Know what is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat. What is needed to tackle the root of the primal threat and effectively counter the schemes of the Ascians is a new, expanded organization that operates beyond limitations of nations and borders. If you would aid me in building such an organization, then pray let us continue this discussion back within the walls of the Rising Stones. There's gloom in the air. I wish Ida were not so eager to look to the future, when we have so many problems in the here and now? I can't wait for Alphonov to start his new company. I love making new friends. I fear Ida's boundless optimism is beginning to affect my better judgment, and your tendency to triumph against the most terrible of foes is certainly not helping matters. Your bout with Hoary Boulder was more stirring than 100 lines of my most passionate poetry. Perhaps I should arrange a sparring match of my own. No, this won't do at all. And then I'll have to... Oh, hello, Byrnjolf. If you don't mind, I'm terribly busy at the moment. Our domain farming methods have been adopted here on the frontier. 'Tis too early yet to know if they will prove to be effective. "'Tis not enough that I am here for my daughter. I must do what little I can to help you all succeed in your monumental tasks. This place has become as a hive, and its bees flit about in constant motion. Perhaps a soothing pot of tea will coax one or two to alight and take a moment's rest." My people's spirits were thoroughly crushed by the loss of our homeland, but thanks to your courage and generosity, I see their inner flames once more flicker back to life. I too have felt my strength of will make a gradual return. I thought the idea foolish at first, but it seems that sparring match well served its purpose. I can hardly wait to return to my studies and seek to improve upon my technique. Byrnjolf, I must thank you again for agreeing to our bout. And I must thank the gods. 'Twas not a duel to the death. I will, however, cherish the lesson of each scrape and bruise as I work to better my swordplay. You know, I should encourage, feel like I should encourage them to delve deeper into their jobs. Like, make Hoary Boulder into a paladin and Quilton it into a white mage. Mr. Boulder fought well, but he was no match for you, Mr. Byrnjolf. Just you wait. One day I'll be good enough to knock you from the top of your mountain. Oh, he's gonna become the next Hokage. Probably not. We need to decide who in our adventurers guild will do what. I'm fairly sure Yozen will have to be the sword fighter. He always has to be in the thick of the action. Mr. Boulder is sore and beaten, but he said he'd return straight to his training. I don't think he likes to lose. I like the way Mr. Coltonet fought. No swords, no swords or fists. I wonder if I studied hard, would I be able to cast spells like that too? You know, if you want to learn how to use spells, maybe you should train with him instead of Hoary Boulder. And maybe with Ystrola as well. And Papalimo. They're very good at magic. I do find it funny that Ystrola changes from a conjurer to a dark mage. Or a black mage, I mean. Always get the name wrong. Oh. With the primal threat presently subdued, now is the perfect time to focus on new endeavors. Alphino has long been laying the groundwork for this organization of his. and he looks to you to help turn his proposal into reality. Pray, lend him what aid you can. Thank you for coming, Byrnjolf. The world shifts and alters, and we, my friend, must ever be one step ahead of the chaos. What I propose is the formation of a new organization, a group that shall pave the way for a truly united Eorzea. You know, something I will do, I'm sure this quest is going to end up taking me back to Ul'dah again eventually. I'm going to go to probably go to Horizon and start up the Bahamut Coils quest. I know I probably won't be able to get much of it done, but I at least want to try. Actually, let's just go ahead and go to Vesper Bay now and have talked with the Urianger. Wonder what the solar looks like now with everyone gone. Completely empty. Well, what did I expect? It's a shame. The only person I ever really get to know is Arenvald. I don't even know who the rest of these people really are. Except one of them had a sibling that died here when the Empire attacked. Oh. I'm going to ignore that. Primal Awakening. When the Cenari moon did wane, there sounded a blood-curdling roar. A new primal had roused. The portents gave us to believe one whose identity yet lieth beyond our ken. By thy hand, 3 primals... 4, I think. No, 6. Nope, 7. If you count Odin. As each returned to the ether, 'twas observed that tremors foreshadowing this fourth grew in strength and frequency both. The being doth quicken, and in time it shall become a scourge upon the land. Yet even as we ponder a course of action, a benevolent soul did arise, one who would forestall this threat. Though she be tender in years, she is true of heart and steadfast of resolve. She would solicit thine aid, if thou art willing to proffer it. Lest you wonder, this maiden is of our order. Thus did the antecedent straightways consent that thou shouldst assist her howsoever thou mayest. As soon as thou art able, hie thee to Wineport, where thy petitioner doth await thee. Even now, thou shalt for a certainty find her visage strikingly familiar. Before I have a chat with you, Alizé, I have a friend down here I want to talk to. Since the day I became a shinobi, my every action has been dictated by one mission or another. Now there is no duty that calls me. At first, the freedom was overwhelming, but I have found peace with it. I will take the time to see the world and honor the memory of my fallen comrades. Oh, nothing to say to me? Okay. I was gonna ask him how he was. Well, I guess he just told me. Alright, well, I have another friend. Down the river here. This is very shallow. Oh, well, now it's not shallow anymore. My friend! Curious Gorge. Ah, the wolf returns! Back to sharpen your teeth? But does other business bring you here? How fare you of late? Well enough, thank you. Though the specter of my inner beast is ever present, as is the fear of losing myself to its savage call. As such, I devote the better part of my days to my training, mind as well as body. And when Wineport calls for aid, I answer. These humble efforts alone cannot begin to atone for the suffering caused by the beast, but I must do what I can. Okay. Back up the river I go. Swim, Bobby, swim! Alright, kid. Here I am. It has been a while, adventurer. As I recall, my brother Alphino took the liberty of introducing us when first and last we met. But for the sake of propriety, Alizé Levier, I thank you for coming. I have heard much and more of your exploits. By your hand, the Black Wolf is slain and his ultimate weapon destroyed. You are possessed of great strength and courage. That much is plain. I shall have need of one such as you if I am to see my mission through to its conclusion. As you may be aware, the violence of Dalamud's fall changed not only the face of the realm, but also the base of the realm. Specifically, it played havoc with the etheric currents, creating vast confluences of ether below the surface. Among other phenomena, this led to the formation of subterranean caverns at key points of stress. One such cavern lies beneath Castrum Osidens and extends to only the gods nowhere. Despite appearances, Castrum Osidens is as much a research facility as it is a fortress. Gaius van Belsar chose the site for no other reason than to probe the caverns without interference. As you went As you went about, vanquishing the returned primals, I observed a repeating wave pattern in the ether, corresponding exactly to the dates on which you were reported to have felled Ifrit, Titan, and Garuda. Upon closer examination, it became clear that these unique waveforms emanated from deep beneath the aforementioned stronghold. Crucially, I recorded the same pattern during the recent celebrations, and have since been given to understand that this phenomenon bears a disquieting similarity to one observed shortly prior to the calamity. 5 years ago, my grandfather invoked the power of the 12, that he might contain Bahamut. Alas, his efforts failed, and he vanished, together with his foe. I will know the truth of what transpired that day, of grandfather's fate, and of the metamorphosis that swept across the land. In casting light upon these mysteries, we will find a way to cure what ails this world. It is my belief that the answers I seek lie hid within the depths of the cavern. I would have you accompany me on an expedition to find them, Byrnjolf. If truth be told, I am not wont to rely upon others, and have thus far handled matters alone. Yet I am not blind to my limitations. Unescorted, I cannot hope to succeed in this endeavor. I swore that I would find a way to restore peace to Eorzea. If you desired the self-same, then aid me, as you aided my brother and the Scions. I am in your debt. You are a man of action, and I sense that we will accomplish much together. But let us not waste any more time. As I mentioned, Castrum Osidens straddles the cavern I wish to explore. If I am to have a hope of reaching it alive, I will need you to infiltrate the stronghold first, and locate a path into the depths. Once you have done so, pray report your success to Storm Private Jabroka. You may consider her my assistant here in Wineport. I have every faith that you will not fail me. 12 speed your way, Byrnjolf. As I mentioned, Castrum Osidens straddles the cavern I wish to explore. If I am to have any hope of reaching it alive, I will need you to infiltrate the stronghold first and locate a path into the depths. All right. I've been expecting you, Byrnjolf. By your coming, I take it you have successfully located the cavern entrance inside Castrum Osidens. So that's where it's to be found. Marvelous. Oh, but allow me to properly introduce myself. Jabroka is my name, and it is my honor to serve Lady Alisaie. Though for reasons of convenience, at present I also serve the Maelstrom. This uniform accords me certain privileges, you see, in particular, ready access to the Maelstrom's regional scouting reports. They provide a wealth of local knowledge, including information on secret passages. But enough about me. I shall notify Lady Alizé of your discovery, that she may prepare for the expedition. Though I don't doubt your abilities, none can say what dangers lurk beneath Castrum Poseidon's. For my lady's sake, as well as your own, please spare neither preparation nor caution. Pray choose your companions well. Ugh. Five. Okay. Alright, join up. Do I really want to do this as a tank? I guess I have to. Since this might take a while. And I don't think I need to stay here. I don't think. I'm gonna head back to Revenant's Toll. Speak with Alpha now. Ah, the gloom has turned to fog. Pray forgive me if I tread over old ground, but I would first speak of the grand plan. Since the advent of the 7th astral era, the leaders of the three nations have been deliberating over an accord that seeks to bring the disparate forces of Eorzea together into a single entity. A realm-wide grand company, if you will. The military might of such an institution would be drawn from every corner of the land and directed against threats that no single nation could hope to overcome alone. Sorry, I have a bit of a frog in my throat for some reason. Probably the weather. Yet while the purpose of this hypothetical organization is undisputed, the logistics of its formation have become the source of endless debate. And the longer these discussions continue, the more I sense the impetus towards unification draining away. Thus have I been campaigning for the creation of what might be considered a trial company. It will be on a much smaller scale than what we hope to eventually achieve, but capable of the same manner of unrestricted operation accorded to the Scions. It is my hope that the successful utilization of such a force will lend momentum through the lagging deliberations. Also, being a primarily military outfit, I mean to assuage fears of its misuse by placing the fledgling organization under the authority of the Antecedent. The Scions work tirelessly to protect Eorzea and its people. But as you yourself have witnessed with the refugee revolt, there are limitations to what even we can achieve. Why are you walking away? With this new company under the Scion's command, however, we will be capable of responding to a wider range of difficulties without straining our resources or overtaxing your formidable talents. The goals of my proposed organization and those of the Scions are ultimately identical, a point conceded by all concerned. But before I can move forward with establishing this precursor to the true Before I can move forward with establishing this precursor to the true, border-spanning Grand Company, 'tis yet necessary that I visit the three leaders and gain their official approval. A tiresome and time-consuming task, which is why I would ask that you accompany me on the journey and attend to the business of recruiting our inaugural members, while I am otherwise engaged with bureaucratic formalities. Thank you. 'Tis reassuring indeed to know that the bringer of light and his discerning eye will be selecting our future allies. Our first destination will be Limsa Laminta. Let us rendezvous at Bulwark Hall. With the primal threat presently subdued, now is the perfect time. Okay. Ah, there you are. I am ready to ascend to the bridge and speak with Admiral Blofuswin. While the Admiral and I are finalizing promissory boundaries and signing parchments, I would have you begin the recruitment process in earnest. I have, of course, endeavored to spread the word of our organization through various channels, but I believe a personal approach will reach many who may otherwise remain ignorant of the opportunity. As for potential members, 'tis of no matter should they already be pledged to another institution, only that they are willing to lend their strength when the situation demands it. And he needn't range into the countryside. The upper decks alone are populated with sufficient candidates to suit our purpose. Once you are satisfied with your recruiting efforts, meet me at the airship ticket counter that we might prepare for the next leg of our journey. Well, if ain't me old mate, Byrnjolf. I barely recognize thee. What with that heroic aura obfuscating your mug. Now, what can this humble bartender do for the champion of Eorzea, eh? A frothin' pint of Bedoran's best? Me place is always open, lad, so feel free to drop in whenever your travels bring ye to Limsa. An organization with the freedom to operate with territorial impunity, I must say, your proposal intrigues me. But the Krakens well know that there is a time to act and a time to watch, and I'm afraid this trial company of yours falls into the latter category. Now, why on earth would I try to recruit the commander of the Yellow Jackets? He's the commander of the Yellow Jackets. Master Alphino's new organization? Yes, I had heard the formation of his trial company was in the offing. 'Tis with regret, however, that I must decline your invitation. As commander of the Yellow Jackets, the protection of Limsa Laminza must needs receive my full attention. Yeah, that makes sense. Why would I think to recruit you? Though we could use some experienced commanders. I mean, that could always help. Eh? Who in the bloody hells do you think you're talking to, Drylanders? I'm a pirate, not some sodden knight in shining plate. If you're looking for a self-righteous fop, try knocking on that dandy Carvalian's door. I already tried. And then I try recruiting a guildmaster. A precursor to a united Eorzean Grand Company? While I do admire the scope of your ambition, my responsibilities here at Noldic and Vermilies keep me close to the forge. I have not the time to be traipsing hither and yon across the realm. Should you require my skills as an armorer, however, I might be willing to accept some special commissions. That's good to hear. Well, if it ain't Byrnjolf, I'd not forget a venturer brave enough or daft enough to seek the shortcut into Titan's bedchamber. You remember old Reel, don't ye? Formerly of the company of heroes? 3 whistles at Bronze Lake? It ain't often I drag me arse out to Limsa for a drink, but I'm right glad I did. A ferry these days. You looking to put together a new crew? Top-tier work? Ha! Sounds like a right lark it does. Alrighty, lad, count me in. The heroes may have gone their separate ways, but I ain't ready to climb into me grave just yet. Byrnjolf, your recruiting went well, I trust. I am curious as to how my proposal was received by the rough and ready folk of Limsa. A member of the legendary company of heroes indicated his interest. Astonishing. I knew enlisting your aid was the right choice. Few could boast the acquaintance of such an elusive character. I too was successful in my task. The Admiral consented to sign all the documents requiring her approval. I can only hope that my visit with the Elder Seedseer proceeds as smoothly. Pray continue on to Gridania at your own pace. I shall await your arrival at Nafika's altar. I meant to talk to some of the guild receptionists, but that's fine. To Gridania. Thought that might have been someone I knew. My audience with the Elder Seedseer is due to commence momentarily. I would be grateful if you would once more see to the task of recruitment here in Gridania. After you deem the well of potential candidates has run dry, let us rendezvous at the airship ticket counter as before. Ah, if it isn't the traitor. Oh gods, can it truly be you? By what fickle fortune must the first face I see upon my release be yours? Eh? Could it be that you don't remember me? It is I, Laurentius, the man whose crimes you exposed. I was a whaler and a regular patron at Buscarin's. Yes, now I remember. ... Well, of course you do. I was beginning to wonder if jail had changed me more than I realized. Not that I have any particular wish to be recognized after my shameful conduct. Excuse me. The less said of my past, the better, I suppose. And what of you, adventurer? What business brings you to this part of Gridania? Recruiting, eh? And what is your policy on reformed convicts? As matters stand, the wood whalers will have naught more to do with me. This may be just the second chance I was looking for. Revenant Stoll, you say? I shall leave at once. Shall not regret this. I promise you. I am a changed man. We shall see. Well, look who it is. Still there. My back is perfectly fine, I tell you. You'll have to tie me up to my bed if you think to prevent me from... Oh! Well, mayhaps I will rest for just a short while. Alianne? Grandfather, you must call it a day. Let us return to the guild and rest ere your tormented back gives up on you for good. I'm terribly sorry. We were just... Oh, Byrnjolf, isn't it? It has been some time since our paths crossed outside of Copperbell Mines. Why, you were barely more than a novice adventurer then, but look how far you've come. Mother Mayone tells me 'twas you who felled the fearsome black wolf. And now you seek stout-hearted souls to fill the ranks of a new order? Well, your cause is undoubtedly just, and my old companion here would be much relieved to see me in good hands. Yes, I'll do it. This is the very thing I've spent my entire adventuring career working towards. I shall join your company just as soon as I have seen Isildur safely home. If you would have me, I would be glad to join your new company. I shall make for Revenant's Toll once I have escorted my dear friend back home. You would offer this old man a place in your company of champions? I am both puzzled and honored by your invitation. Pray forgive me, young master, but I cannot accept. I have sworn to abide here for whatever scant years remain to me, and bear responsibility for the evils my lady has wrought upon this land. I must respectfully refuse your invitation. Your proposal promises new beginnings, but I am shackled to the sins of the past. By my own oath, I am made prisoner, my chains forged of guilt and unforgivable cowardice. Scene Guild. 'Tis not often a guild officer such as myself gets recruited. This company of yours certainly sounds to have some promise, but its duties appear less than focused. I must refuse your invitation until such time as your organization is more organized. I know those two are headbutting each other, constantly causing all their dizziness. What news, Byrnjolf? For my part, the elder seed seer was most amenable to our requirements. A former wood whaler and a seasoned adventurer. Our company will not lack for variety, that much is certain. An interesting harvest indeed. Shall we strike into Ul'dah whilst the iron is hot? Let us meet at the Royal Promenade and endeavor to conclude our remaining business. Our journey draws to a close. It's been a while since I've taken some airships around. Not somebody else walking around. They startled me. Ul'dah, the gilded city, where one's fortune defines one's worth. I hope some manner of fortune is with us, and that this final leg proves as successful as the previous two. Might I suggest descending to the lower level before beginning your recruitment efforts? I do not think the Sultana will take kindly to us poaching from her personal guard. Let us meet back here at the promenade when our respective tasks are complete. Good hunting, Byrnjolf. But I would love to have Jenlins with us, because he's an honorable man. Wilred! Wait, you're the man who came to Little Alamigo looking for that masked devil. Who knows what might have happened if you hadn't? I'd probably be dead. And a whole lot more of my friends besides. We were such fools. Any road, that disaster really got me to thinking about our homeland, and about the outsider who saved us from ourselves. I realized how easily I'd been manipulated, and vowed to make of myself a more worldly man. So here I am, a new company of champions. And you say it will take me to all corners of the realm? That sounds exactly like the kind of opportunity I need. And don't worry, I'm not the same stripling you met in Little Alamigo. I've prepared myself to fight the evil I now know is out there. And it would also be interesting if I built a relationship with him, where I was like maybe a personal trainer or something. Oh, what a happy coincidence. Do you remember me, perchance? I am Orson, of the Church of Saint Adama Landama. Thank you again for your timely rescue. And I must also thank you for preventing that fraudulent priest from preying on dry bones less fortunate. A most upsetting business. Are you here with your company? Are you here with your companion? Thancred, wasn't it? Ah, 'tis new companions ye seek, then. Your proposed organization sounds a powerful force for good, but my place is at the church and the children. Nevertheless, I wish you well in this undertaking. It's a pity. We could use a priest. Or priestess. You know, if I did the Hildebrand crest, asking this question would kind of make a little more sense. She is very dangerous. I'm sorry, you wish to recruit me? Is this some new-fashioned manner of propositioning a lady? Well, I'm afraid you are wasting your time. This lady is already spoken for. Good day to you, sir. Pray take your crude affections elsewhere. Bitter snows is the only love I require. I don't know, this just seems so funny to me. Also, I never thought to re-ask everyone. Orson, I want to talk to you again. I could never abandon the children, or my work at the Lykyard. I will, however, pray for your success. Aye, you'd be surprised what rumors drift down to Pearl Lane. I know of this glorious new company of yours, and just how far I'd go to avoid getting involved with it. Whispers on the street say your organization is funded by corrupt coin, by syndicate money. If you think you're recruiting for a just cause, then you're a bigger fool than I took you for. My advice, soldier? Cut your ties and run. Your shining company will be naught but a puppet that dances to the syndicate's tune. Merchant, how would you like to join the army? A company that looks to cure the ills of the realm entire? Listen, friend, I can scarce bear the complaints of the next stall over, let alone the conundrums of a neighboring nation. I've heard you, Byrnjolf. What hidden gems did the streets of Ul'dah offer up to your unrelenting gaze? A single Alamegan youth. Well, you've certainly given us an admirable start, even if our ranks are yet somewhat thin. In these troubled years following the calamity, talk of Eorzea's salvation must seem akin to grasping at clouds. But there are those who have risen to the challenge nonetheless, and the hope that inspires these people was born in no small part from the victories you yourself have won. Thank you, Byrnjolf. I will not squander the precious gift you have placed into my keeping. These recruits will become the foundation of a new beginning. And yes, we are free to begin. As you have no doubt surmised, the Sultana also graced my trial company with her blessings. Our first wave of recruitment is over, the document signed, and the finances secure. There is naught to prevent me from taking the next step. You are concerned about the syndicate's involvement. As was I. Thus was the origin of every coin of their contribution carefully scrutinized and recorded. This organization will not be built on corruption. Naturally, I would prefer not to rely upon outside sources at all, but even my family's substantial coffers could not sustain a venture of this magnitude. And as for the rumors and doubt surrounding this enterprise, well, such things shall plague us until the company has had a chance to prove its worth. It will not be an easy process, but we will earn people's trust one success at a time. Speaking of time, we should waste no more of it. Let us return to the Rising Stones and lay the first stone for a united Eorzea.
Tell me, General, what think you of Alfino's bold endeavor?
I think it is more than bold, Your Grace. His organization would pave the way for a united Eorzea. Well do I understand his impatience, since facing the common threat of the Ultima weapon, our nations have seemed farther apart, not closer together. Considering the many problems we face, should we not be glad that someone else is taking the initiative?
We have all pledged our cooperation, yet the grumbling continues behind closed doors. Ul'dah is not alone in her duplicity. I myself have doubts as to the good this organization will achieve. With the inclusion of the finest soldiers of the 3 grand companies, it promises to be a fearsome military body. But whom will it serve? Even under the watchful gaze of the Scions, it is not unthinkable that such a force could perpetrate a great wrong. Does it not concern you that a significant proportion of its financial backing came from the coffers of the Syndicate? That those unprincipled worms might forge this extraordinary gathering of warriors into a private army?
I have trust in the Scions, Your Grace. They have spared us no end of trouble at the hands of the Primals. If they seek reinforcements, I deem it unwise to deny them. As for their finances, full many gave generously. And though our nobles proffered a sizable sum, their coin did not spill from the pockets of Lolorito and his cronies. And what of the presence of our stalwart adventurer friend in this endeavor? I doubt the Warrior of Light would betray our cause.
Yes, there is that, I suppose. Yet I have known people to change. Whether we will or no, the events of the age hurl us this way and that, like a dust devil skipping across the sands. Cannot be done about Telechi?
I have explored all avenues available to us, Your Grace. But as Ul'dah law now stands, we lack the evidence to convict him of any crime. To arrest him on spurious grounds would only play into his hands.
He has all but committed treason, and yet we can do nothing? Then what good our government? What worth the royal house? How deplorable this mockery of justice!
Have faith, Your Grace. It is not over.
Isn't she actually a kid herself? I don't remember. Now let's go over to Revenant's Toll. And then I might have to end the video there. Excuse me. That is not a journey I wish I soon wish to repeat. But I cannot pause to rest. The culmination of all our effort is at hand. I must see to the preparations for the inaugural ceremony. Thank you for following me to monopolize your services, Byrnjolf. I am certain the antecedent will be relieved to see you free of your duties. Free for other duties. My grandfather formed the Circle of Knowing, in the hopes that, through the accumulation of knowledge, Eorzea might be saved from disaster foretold. A band of champions brought together by a common goal, to lead our realm to a better tomorrow. Though our means may differ, I would like to believe I do him proud in undertaking this new endeavor. Okay. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you later. Okay, the thing must